welcome back to Hamer Hall, where we get prepared for the opening ceremonies. We're going to send it right down to Dave Smith, the public address announcer.
Rowan.
So there are your opening ceremonies for tonight's action. Looking on the rosters for tonight, we have a lot of defending national champions scheduled to wrestle tonight in the 126-pound category. Check that. In the 134-pound category, Pat Dorn of South Dakota State is scheduled to wrestle Larry Roby. Now, this Dorn is the defending national champion from last season. He had a record of 14-4 overall this year, and he has 2 draws. Other than that, you have a couple other guys by the name of Dwayne Mile from Colorado Mines University. He lost in a championship last season. He's the number 3 seed in this tournament. He's a 142-pounder. They're also looking for big things from him. The defending champion in 150 is returning this season from Portland State University, Dan Russell, 27-4 overall this year, 2 draws. And the list goes on and on and on here. With Kenny Hackman coming back for California University of Pennsylvania, he has a record overall this season of 38-1, and he's the defending national champion from last season. As we are moments away from our first match will feature Broderick Lee from Portland State. He's taking on Brian Guzzo from South Dakota State. And right now we're going to be joined by Phil Hayes, the tournament director. Phil, I've never been to a wrestling tournament before, but I've never seen more people on a floor in my life.
Well, this is quite an event for us. In fact, our first national tournament hosting, and believe me, it takes an awful lot of work.
Coming into tonight, you have a lot of defending national champions. I was looking down on the list. In fact, in the heavyweight category, Haselrig from UPJ, he's not only the Division II defending national champion, he's a Division I defending national champion.
He's everybody's national champion. He's a 4-timer, probably will be a 6-timer. He's just an outstanding wrestler. In fact, Carlton didn't really compete in any organized high school program. He was given special dispensation by the WPIL to wrestle and pinned his way through the state tournament. So this guy's a real phenomenon.
Now, looking overall at the team matchups, who's really the favorite to be able to come out of here as the Division II National Championship as a team?
Well, it can be a real tight race right offhand. You know, you always have people like North Dakota State and Ferris State that are ranked real heavy. SIU Edwardsville is always a perennial power in Division II. South Dakota State, just to name a few, and I'm sure I've forgotten a lot of them, but they're all capable in the top 10 rankings of the last press that came out. Those guys, any one of those teams can come through, and it just depends an awful lot on the breaks you get.
Now, last season, the defending national champions were Ferris State University. Well, check that. That's the top 20 for this season. So they're looking at Ferris State as probably being the head favorite right now.
Right. I had the opportunity to talk a little bit with Coach Moms from North Dakota State, and Bucky and I have been friends for years. And, of course, he's a Cannonsburg native, and Bucky was a national NCAA champion at one time, and he tells me that you know, he's not what he had hoped to be this year, but he has a lot of young guys, so he's not out of it. Don't ever count him out.
We're ready for our first match to begin. We're on mat 2, and tonight's matchup will be from Portland State University. This is 118 pounds. Broderick Lee, 13-6-1. He'll be facing Brian Guzzo. Guzzo from South Dakota State University. He is 29-0.
Well, you have 2 seeded guys here, and what that means to those of you that are not familiar with wrestling is that these guys are pretty decent people. You have Guzzo with a record of 29-0, and you have Broderick Lee 13-6-1. And it was the opinion of the coaches that these guys should be ranked 4th and 5th in the weight classes. So they're facing one another right now.
Brian Guzzo is wearing the blue tights to go along, and as it is Broderick Lee in the green. So Guzzo in the blue, green, Lee in the green.
And you also notice that they're wearing red and green anklets. That's how the official, when you see him raise a red arm band, he's signaling points for the red anklet.
The official for this match is Fred Ambrose. Fred Ambrose out of Ellison Park, Pennsylvania. He's a hometown guy.
Right. Fred has been around wrestling a long time, and he really does a great job. He's one of the more outstanding officials in the country as far as collegiate wrestling is concerned.
Lee leading 2-1 so far with 2:01 remaining here in the first period.
Lee's in on a deep single, but he has to switch to a body lock. As you can see, they don't give points easy. He dumped, he still lost it. All right, they're both tied up at center, almost center mat. Lee seems to be a very aggressive wrestler. There was a near side shot. This competition lasts 7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. If you've ever been out there and had to put up with somebody trying to rip your arms and legs off for 7 minutes, it can get physically taxing. The mental preparation for these national matches, it's hard to explain what these young men go through. It's a very, very competitive and tough situation. You see, we have 140 of the Division II's best in the United States.
Down to 58 seconds remaining in the first period. Lee leading 2-1.
Lee's going to get a takedown here. No, the official gives nothing. You see there was contact points were out of bounds. Now, had Lee been able to keep his knees up and his toes in, he would have gotten the 2 points.
Down to 42 seconds.
Lee's in on him again. No point, there's 2.
4-1 now in favor of Lee. Down to 27 seconds in the first period. Now, Phil, these are the officials with the 6 mats here now. Will they rotate, or will just one official stay to that particular mat?
You'll notice they have one official sitting and one working. Now, when the one official that's on the mat right now is through, he will take his seat, and the other official will come on. They'll keep these guys on these same mats all through the quarterfinals.
First period comes to an end. Broderick Lee leading Brian Gizzo 4-1 as we begin this second period. Now there's the end of this first period. I saw the time go off the clock originally. Now the official put it back up.
Right. They sometimes the timers jump the gun, and even sometimes the wrestlers do. So we reset the period. Guzzo will be down. It's a very technical thing on the start. The bottom man must not be pushed. He has to have room to set up, and once he sets up, he can't move. Now we go. Here's a stand-up tried. Lee's in control. Driving that deep crotch and a half. He's going to put him over. He's really maintaining control of his man. 58
seconds on the running time now. With 1 minute, does he receive a point, or does that come up at the end of the period?
He has to have that at the end of the match. So he has 1 minute more riding time than the other man now, so he'll get a point if that doesn't go off when the other man takes his position.
Still 4-1 in favor of Lee. Lee's had the advantage here for quite a long time. Minute and 18 seconds to be exact.
Right. The constant pressure that's put on the bottom man, you see, he's a guy that has to make the moves, plus the top man has to be trying to pin him. All right, we have an escape. Both men are neutral. The lock up now, and you'll see them try to work to get one or another down.
Now the escape, that's worth 1 point.
1 point.
So it's 4-2 in favor of Lee at this point.
That's right.
Down to 48 seconds remaining in the second period.
And you notice that Lee's riding time stopped as soon as we had an escape. Now, should the other man, Guzzo, get Lee down, then you'll see that riding time go backwards, and the green dots will switch to the red. 4 of these mats we have going now are in the 18-pound class, and you'll notice on each top of each pyramid, the lighting, it gives you the match, the 18-pound.
Down to 8 seconds remaining here in the second period of this one. Clock stops. Now it's back, started again. Can't exactly figure out what the other guy was doing in the ring.
Well, the other man you see with a towel in his hand, he is the guy that lets the official know when the time is out. He hits the official on the back with a towel in case the official doesn't hear the horn, because we have 6 pyramids in here, and when those horns are all going off at one time, it's tough. Now Lee is down. It will be to his advantage to get out as quickly as he can to stop the riding time. You watch the riding time will switch. See, it's going backwards now. He needs to get out of there. He has 28 seconds to get out so he can still hold his point. That may come in handy to him later on.
Still 4-2 in favor of Lee.
Lee's coming out. He's at neutral. He gets 1 point. Stop the riding time.
Down to 1 minute and 33 remaining here in the third period.
Now you'll notice this is when the stalling calls are going to come into play. If one man doesn't continue to be as aggressive as he was in the first part of the match, you're going to see the official hold up one wrist or the other with a clenched fist, and that means a warning. He will give a C with his hand, a warning. 1 minute to go in the bout. They're out of bounds.
Now with the advantage time at 1:18 and being in the third period, Broderick Lee's already looking at 1 point after this one's over.
That's correct.
Without a fall, of course.
Without a fall, right. Which can happen. Lee's in. He's wrestling very aggressive. I don't expect that there's going to be any stalling calls in this match. These 2 young men have done a real good job. It's hard for people to understand how hard these guys train. Some of them run 10 miles a day every day, and they wrestle 2-3 hours a day. Plus lift, they have to eat right, get the right amount of sleep. Plus they have to go to college, they have to study.
25 seconds remaining. A win by Broderick Lee would put Broderick Lee into the semifinal round tomorrow afternoon here at Hamer. So we are now down to 21 seconds, 5-2 in favor of Lee.
Seconds to go. See the young man going with a towel now. He's going to make sure that the referee knows the bout is over.
And the bout is
this bout is over.
So Lee will defeat Brian Guzzo. I believe the final score ended up being 6-2 as Lee gets 1 minute 18 seconds on the advantage time. We're getting ready now for the 126-pound category, and it'll be on mat number 3. Mat number 3, Rick Travis of California University of Pennsylvania will be facing Arthur DeMurath. DeMurath out of the University of Wisconsin Parkside. Well, now check that. They're going to move that. We're going to be on mat 2. So I'm calling it coming out on a mat 3. Instead, they're moving it over to mat 2. So we'll stay right where we are on mat 2. Rick Travis facing DeMurath.
DeMurath is a good man. You look at his record, he's 34-9. He's been in a lot of competition. You don't beat 34 people and not be a competent and skilled wrestler.
DeMurath, the 8th seed, 34-9 overall. While on the other hand, Rick Travis is the number 1 seed in the 126-pound category. Ricky Travis, record of 31-6 overall. And earlier this morning in the first round, he defeated Eric Donders 7-4. Donders.
No, that was he defeated him 17-4 because that was a technical decision. Travis is in. He's going for the dump. He controls that forearm, comes out, They don't get the takedown. He loses control.
Travis is in the black and the red. Demarath the black and the green.
All right, Travis is trying to maintain control here so he can drag through and slip behind. But the young fellow has his arm there. They're tied up. They're in what they call a stalemate. And that means that neither wrestler has improved his position. They break him and start him up again.
Our official for this match is John Walker from Southern Pines, North Carolina. He's out representing the region from the CIAA.
Rick's trying that double arm Russian tie so he can get in there and get a takedown, but he's not having much luck. This kid's really, really tough defensively. I told you, a man has wrestled 34 matches, won 34 matches. You know, he's very wise. He knows what he's doing. Coach Ursuline looks like he's yelling some words of encouragement down there, which it takes from time to time. Now see, all these young men that win in these quarterfinals tonight and win in the consolation rounds are going to have to weigh in tonight at from 8:15 on, and they'll have 1 pound weight advantage.
Now you mentioned that Rick Travis, weighing in Friday, was 1 pound over, had to go and shave off his hair to be able to get down to the 126.
He was 4/10. He was 4/10 over, and Rick gets a little eccentric at times. He made the weight, by the way.
It might be a little bit easier than going and running it off or jumping some rope.
I think that's what he figured.
Down to 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining in the first period.
Here's Travis with the dump, trying to dump, controlling the far arm. He's trying to tilt. He can't make it. He's going to a double, going to a double. He's bear hugging him. Now he's back on the double. Rick down for 2. He really had to work for that. You can see he was up and down the body before he finally got control.
The winner of this match will take on the winner of the Mark Passer Reggie Ratliff match, which is also in progress right now at this point.
Travis will try to tilt here. You keep your eyes on this. He'll try to get his back exposed to the mat. And when he does, you'll see the official start to count. And if the official counts past 3, there we go, 1. He has 2 points, I believe. I don't want to count against the official. No, he didn't give it to him. Young man's trying to break both hands free so he can get out of there. He broke them, or both back in neutral.
Down to 16 seconds remaining in the period. 2-0 in favor of Travis.
Travis needs 10 more seconds for riding time. You notice Travis is very, very unorthodox. He causes a lot of people trouble the way he rolls around on the mat, and then all of a sudden he'll throw a half Nelson in on you and you're on your back.
First period comes to an end. Now the coin toss decides who's on top and who's on bottom.
Right, or who wants to defer. If it comes up green, I might say I'll defer to the other man, and he has his choice, and then I get my choice in the last period. Now Travis needs to get out of there in 6 seconds so he can keep his riding time. Let's see if he does it. This young man's riding real tough with a half and a bar. Does not keep his weight too much on Rick, but he has a leg in, so he's really pushing that half and bar. Rick's got to get back up to his 4 posts, and then he's got to get up on his feet, because that takes a lot of energy out of you when that guy's cranking on you like that.
Travis, his riding time starting to tick down.
Yeah,
had it about 45 seconds.
This young fellow's tough. He is riding tough.
Minute and 7 seconds remaining in the second period. 2-0 in favor of Rick Travis.
Rick has just received his first warning for stalling. He has to make some movement on the bottom or he's going to get called. This is as tight as I've seen anybody ride Travis all season.
Down to 25 seconds, 2-0 in favor of Travis. Number 2 will be broken up as they leave the circle.
Rick has been wrestling a lot this season with some very, very sore ribs. And the way this young fellow's driving him on that one side, you know, it really puts a crunch on the rib cage. So it's going to take a lot of guts for him to come out of there and come out on top of this.
But last season, Rick missed the entire season due to injury.
Yes, he had a bad knee, bad ribs, which is just the frailty of the sport. That's going to happen. Okay, Rick is going to come out of this. He's out. Now he goes for this takedown, but he knows he's close to the edge of the mat. He just wanted to get a shot in.
So he got 1 point for the escape. It's 3-0 in favor of Travis.
Coach Ursland cautioning him, loosen up, just relax out there. You're in charge.
As the second period comes to an end in favor of Rick Travis, 3-0. Rick Travis leading Arthur Demarath. Demarath out of the University of Wisconsin Parkside.
Rick has to get out of there before this young man gets that ride locked in on him. It looks like he might be going to be able to do it. Yeah, Rick's sticking him. He's sticking him.
Travis with 2 points.
He's got 2 and 3 if he doesn't pin him. The young man's head's out of the circle now. No, it's back in the circle. Rick needs to lift on the head, get the shoulder down. He just has to hold him there and relax. Now Rick's pushed him a little too hard. He has to relax on top of him. Now the young man's out of danger now.
5-0 in favor of Travis with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining in the third and final period.
I believe that score is incorrect. They're going to make a change here. We have a score of 8-0 now. That's what happens with a guy like Travis. You know, he'll lull you to sleep and let you think you're really working on him, and all of a sudden he explodes and you're in big trouble. He's going to let him go, I believe, and he won't try to control him. He'll just try to take him down. He has to take him to the mat within 5 seconds or he's going to get called for stalling.
That's exactly what the...
That's right.
As Demarath does get the point. So it's 8-1 in favor of Rick Travis.
Okay, Demarath's going to go over here a little bit, I believe. Rick's going to try and work his tilt.
Phil, when you have an 8-1 lead and you're a wrestler, at times you might become a little complacent, looking at the clock and seeing how much time is actually left?
No, you don't want to become too complacent, because that official can stick you with stall calls and he can cause you to lose a match by default. So you always want to keep working. You need to keep working. Watch your back, Rick. I may make some editorial comments here from time to time, but I get a little excited about this. 35 seconds in the match. Travis is still in control. I think Rick's done a good job with this kid. He's a tough kid, and you can't take anything away from him. He's gave Rick all he needed tonight. Here he goes again. Rick hasn't had much luck with that tilt tonight.
Down to 13 seconds.
Come on, Rick. Without about 7 seconds to go, we'll start in the middle of the mat again.
And Rick Travis now guaranteed 1 point for the riding time.
Ursuline looks a little bit relaxed now. All right, the match is over.
So Rick Travis will go to the semifinal round, defeating Arthur Demarath. Final score of 9-1. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be back. You're watching the Division II National Championships on Channel 29. Welcome back to Hamer Hall, the site of this year's Division II National Wrestling Championships. Dave Shinsky, joined by Tournament Director Phil Hayes. The match we are joining right now is Kerwin Adderley from Norfolk State. He's 17-0 on the season. He's being opposed by Tim Failing, 12-0 on the year from Springfield. Failing is in the white, Adderley is in the green.
You have two guys here that they don't know what it means to lose, so somebody's going down the tubes tonight.
Now, Phil, being this is the championships, there cannot be a draw.
No, they will go into overtime. They'll go into overtime, and then they go into with overtime criteria, 3 one-minute periods. And that criteria is very crucial. If we have an overtime match tonight, well, we'll get into that criteria if possible. You notice the headgears the young men are wearing, they're required equipment as far as collegiate wrestlers are concerned to keep the cartilage in the ears from breaking down. Probably TV announcers ought to wear those too, huh?
6-3. I believe in favor of Tim Failing. Failing will probably be going with the red. Maybe the green.
I believe that Adderley is the red.
Okay, yes, you're right. He's picked up a point there. So.
Adderley's the red. He's doing a lot of moving around. He's very good very quick on his feet. There's 2 more. He waved the points off. Situation like that, when an official makes a call, it takes a real good official to take a call back, and I admire referee number 9, whoever that is on our program, for making that call, but it was a correct call to make.
John Walker,
good official.
That's why these guys are here.
That's why they're here, you're correct. Looks like maybe going to be 2 points. I think the young man tried an arm drag, Failing tried an arm drag, and it didn't work. He got himself in trouble. Now that maybe we'll call a stalemate position. Maybe potential. No, they're going to give the 2 points to Adderley.
So it's 10-4 in favor of Adderley.
Correct. 5 seconds left in the period. Okay, the first period is over.
First period comes to an end. Pat Dorn on mat number 3. We're going to want to switch over there right now. Pat Dorn, the defending national champion at 134. Dorn from South Dakota State will be wrestling on mat number 3. So we want to get away from this match right now to get over to mat number 3. Dorn this season 14-4-2 overall. He'll be facing Tim Powers from Ferris State, a record of 16. Check that, he will not be he'll be facing Larry Roby from UPJ. Roby 17-5-0 on the year. On mat number 3.
Roby's a tough competitor. You'll see this kid will never quit on you.
We'll keep an eye on that match we were showing you prior to this one. Still 12-4 in favor of Adderley. So Adderley now up 14-4, so he's doing a pretty good number.
Yes, he is.
So I believe Dorn is in the black, and that is Roby in the blue.
Right, Pitt Johnstown, you can see it on the back. There's a shot by Roby. Dorn's a veteran. You can imagine how Roby must feel he's going up against a defending national champion. That makes it 1 point in his favor anyway.
Dorn coming out of a very good program at South Dakota State University, ranked number 5 in the nation overall.
Over the years, South Dakota has been a power in this Division II.
I think they're a power in a lot of Division II sports. They're a pretty good football power also.
Yeah, they're from Brookings. Their university is located in Brookings, South Dakota, right in the prairie country. We were there a number of years ago. The wind seems to always blow about 60 miles an hour up there. Nothing to stop it.
Now, Phil, what is the criteria for these men to qualify for the Division I national championships?
They have to win this. They have to win this one.
So win here in this quarterfinal round will automatically boost them into the National Championships Division I?
No, they have to win this division.
Yes, so they'll take the champ.
Yep. I may be incorrect on that. I may stand to be corrected. They may take the first 2, but I don't think so. Sometimes they may select a wild card, but they've cut that criteria so much over the past few years, I haven't kept up with it. I've been out of it about 5 or 6 years.
Now Larry Roby taking the lead on Dorn 2-1. Down to 1 minute and 49 remaining here in the first period. It's the 134-pound category.
Roby's ready for this bout. He's worked real hard. He's had some injuries over the years. He's had a bad knee problem, but I tell you, Pecor does a great job with those guys.
The other match we were showing you earlier, Adderley and Failing. At this point, Adderley is leading 16-9 with about 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining.
He's now 18-9. He just got another takedown.
3-2 now in favor of Pat Doran. Down to 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the first period.
Doran has to take him to the mat. All right, he's getting called for stalling. He's getting a warning. There it is. Once a man gets up, it's incumbent on the man that's behind him to get him to the mat within 5 seconds. I'm not used to looking at this monitor. I keep trying to look out at the mat. It seems like you can see more when you're looking out at the mat.
And you have six rings out here. You've ever been to a 3-ring circus and you got confused there, try to watch wrestling with 6 matches.
Seemed to be some discussion going on down there. I see Pecor off his chair. I don't understand what the talk was. I wasn't watching that closely. With all the wrestling going, it's kind of tough to pick the match. But all right, Roby's trying to work his way out. You see Doran hold him on there. He's trying to control that leg. Doing a good job so far. Now he's going to have to get him down. You see the official start his count. Roby's trying to break the hands loose. He's not down yet. Yep. He's giving Roby. Are they starting him neutral? He's awarding Green 1 point, looks like. No, he's not.
Match prior to this one, Kerwin Adderley had just defeated
Tim
Failing.
Excuse me.
20-11, the final score with that one.
That was a wild bout. Roby was awarded 1 point. I thought I saw him signal it. Okay,
Roby now losing his headgear. Official calling for timeout with 31 seconds remaining, tied at 3. Down to 17 seconds now here in this first period. Pat Dorn, the defending national champion out of South Dakota State.
Looked like Dorn took a shot in the eye there, and he lost his contact with Roby. Roby was able to get in on him, but he's like a champion. Dorn recovered.
So now we'll get prepared for the second period. Tied at 3 in the 134-pound category.
This is the weight that Travis wrestled in last year, and Rick kind of decided this year that he'd try to get down to 26-pound weight class. He feels good at 26. It's a struggle for him to get there, but when he gets there, he's awesome. He's overpowering. Okay, Roby's trying to work his way out. Dorn's a tough guy to handle down there. You see how he breaks your momentum. He's always in control of something. Now Roby's in a good spot if he just can get his leg out of there. Now Dorn's going to have to watch it, or he's going to get called for stalling. He's breaking the hold. See where the leg was in and the knee was in a kind of an awkward position. The official declared that a potentially dangerous hold, and he broke them.
Down to 1 minute and 27 seconds remaining in the second period. Tied at 3.
We've had a fall up there on the mat. Ferris State boy got pinned. That must have been the last 126-pound bout.
Still tied at 3. Been a while since we've had a point scored here.
Yeah, they're both these guys are pretty much control wrestlers, but Roby's up one now. Dorn got a little over anxious there with the legs, and Roby was ready for him. Notice Roby's stance now. He leads with his right foot. That's to give him that push-off shot. See how deep he got in on that? Now, what he's going to have to do is pull that leg in and try to get that single. But you see Dorn's countered with the arms in the crotch. Now, Roby made a pretty smart move there to get him out of there. Now, he's going to get the 2. He got the 2. Roby's doing a great job.
He's leading 7-3 over the defending national champion.
Well, he's getting back points. He got 2 back and a reversal 2 for Dorn.
You mentioned a little bit earlier about the shoot. You come to a wrestling match, that's one of the big words that you hear from the fans. A lot of people yelling shoot. You think you're looking for the security guards.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrestling term, and the fans, when they say shoot, why they want to see some action. They want to see somebody going in there. We got a 9-5 score down here with Dorn and Roby. I'm telling you, Roby's doing a fantastic job down here.
Phil, looking down here on the mats, you brought some local area high schools were able to help you out with the tournament.
Yeah, we're very much indebted to those high schools: Connellsville, Best Center, Brownsville, Charleroi. They came through like champs for us. Real helpful.
So we get prepared for the third period. Tim Failing leading Pat Dorn at this point, 9-5.
No, not Tim Failing. We have Roby.
You're correct. Getting all confused here. We changed over matches.
We don't want the people from Johnstown making calls into Channel 29 now.
No, not at all.
They're one of our neighbors, and boy, we love to compete with them. We haven't been able to for the last few years. They're just too tough for us. Now, Dorn better turn up his RPMs if he's going to win this match. That's all I can say. Because Roby, he's got a 4-point lead, and that's 2 takedowns.
This would be a pretty big upset if it would happen.
You better believe it would be.
9-6 now. Dorn was able to pick up a point. He also has the riding time to his advantage.
You only get that riding time if you win it. Roby's in there good again. He's beating Dorn to the punch. That's all there is to it. Dorn's really gonna have to call on him, all on his skills to come out of this. Referee breaks him, stalemate. Neither wrestler an advantage. Roby looks like he's having a little trouble with his back.
Gonna call for the trainers here.
Coach Pat Pecor and his assistant coach Yawner are out there on the mat.
Now, are California University trainers the people who would be the main trainers for today, or were the individual universities supposed to bring their own?
We have our training staff available to them, but most of the universities brought their own trainers with them. Wrestlers are kind of superstitious. They like for somebody that knows them to work on them, and most of these teams carry their own trainer. Looks like he might have had some back spasms there. I see Coach McCord rubbing him down. Isn't anything serious. I think he just got real tense, and some of these guys have spasms back there, and boy, that'll slow you down.
The official for this match is Ray Larson. Larson out of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. He's out of the southeast region.
Yeah, he came a long way to participate in these national matches. He's been around the game a long time. He's an excellent official. He has a very quiet demeanor out there with the guys. They respect him, and he controls the match, as you can see. Roby's in on that single again, going to body lock. He gets back down to the single. Dorn's going down for 2 more. Roby's doing a great job. We got 56 seconds left in this bout, and he's up by 9-6. Dorn's on his feet. Roby's driving him out of bounds. Okay, they'll come to center mat with 48 seconds.
Dorn, as we said, still the #1 seed in this tournament. Larry Roby, the 8th seed. 11-6 in favor of Roby with 48 seconds remaining.
I'll tell you, any one of these guys at any given time can beat the other guy, and boy, it's just the luck of the draw when you come through here with a championship. Dorn is going into the roll. He's coming around. He's got 1. He has 1. Dorn made a nice shoulder roll move and was hoping to reverse there, but he missed it. Now he's going to have to get on the attack very quickly. He's down by 4. Roby's still beating him to the punch. Roby's in on him again. Dorn's pushing the head down, trying to go around with a drag. He misses it. He's got 2 now. Dorn has 2, and he has the legs in. Roby stands up.
Down
very
to
good
12
move.
seconds.
Dorn throws him, trying to get the tilt. 7 seconds. Dorn's going to lose this match by 2. Roby has upset the defending national champion.
So Larry Roby wins it 11-9 as he will move into the semifinal round scheduled for tomorrow. He will face Kerwin Adderley, who won the other match that we saw. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. You're watching the Division II National Championships on Channel 29. And welcome back to the NCAA Division II National Championships. Right now we're going to get a match. We're going to get a mat number 1, the 142-pound category, where Alan Beanie, record of 19-6-0 overall, will be facing Pat Lemberchat. Lemberchat 25-14-1. Beanie will be in the white with the blue, while Lemberchat will be in the blue. And let's see what the other color with the white. And right now we're going to be joined by, well, I can't believe the guys returned. After a long layoff, as of approximately, about 4 or 5 months, Dawn Martin has returned to the broadcast booth for a while as Phil Hayes has had to get back to talk to a few people about the tournament. He is in charge of the tournament, so he had a few things to take care of here. So Dawn said he'll sit in for a couple minutes.
Well, Dave, you know, talking about this wrestling tournament, everything's been going so well so far, and so many people thought that, you know, California University just was not a place for a national wrestling tournament such as this one. But all throughout the day, it's been just total success, and tomorrow it's only going to get better.
If you didn't hear, if you just tuned in, Rick Travis did win his 126-pound category. Rick Travis here from California University of Pennsylvania. Rick defeated Arthur Demarath earlier on. Down to 2:34 in the first period. No score.
You know, Dave, this is just talking about the sport of wrestling for a while. This is such a physical sport. And I'll be totally honest with you and the viewers that, you know, I haven't watched wrestling that much other than WWF, NWA, all the professional wrestling, but this is something that is totally different. And of course I've watched college wrestling before, but these tournaments make it so much better. You see so much talent coming out, not only from Pennsylvania or California, but throughout the whole United States.
Dawn, I compared this sport to a 3-ring circus, except add 3 more on, you have a 6-ring circus. Trying to keep up with all the action here is practically impossible.
It's amazing how they have so many matches going on at the same time. And that's what makes it a bit difficult, not only for you up here in the announcing booth, but also for the people down at the table taking all of the statistics and bringing all of the results up.
Now, it won't be as difficult for tomorrow night's matches in the semifinal, just due to the fact that although we'll only be using 2 mats for the semifinal rounds, that'll make it a lot easier. The championship round will only be 1 mat, and we'll be able to really concentrate and focus on the big men.
Without a doubt, it certainly will be a lot easier tomorrow night, like you said. And you know, for you people who are big basketball fans of California University and you're watching this, you're probably wondering how could the gym be converted into a wrestling gym, a basketball gym converted into a wrestling gym. And it wasn't easy, believe me. You know, just a few people, Eric Joran, for one, the equipment manager, was down here every day working hard, along with the janitors from Hamer Gymnasium, the custodians, a lot of people, a lot of students coming in here, setting these mats. And you look at those mats, that's a nice wide shot of the mats. They're not too light, and they really played heck getting them down here.
Down to 55 seconds here in this first period. We are still scoreless between Alan Beanie of Ashland University and Pat Lemberchat from Grand Valley State. Winner of this match will move into the semifinal round. They will face the winner of the Dwayne Mall and James Kennedy match.
And Dave, I don't know if you mentioned before, or if maybe Dr. Hayes mentioned even, that Frank Volcano Jr. is a official down here, is officiating the wrestling match. Used to be an All-American linebacker here for California University for 2 years. A great all-around athlete at California. And now he's at the officiating ranks at the wrestling level. But the big thing is that Frank is so young. I think he's, 24 years old. And Frank is one of the top seed one of the top seed referees for tomorrow's matches. I guess they each coach vote on who they want the referees for tomorrow's match, because it dwindles down so much. You only have so many referees for tomorrow. And he's one of the top, I think one of the top 5 anyways, coming back tomorrow. So that's a real credit for Frank, and of course a real credit for California.
Pat Lemberchat picking up 1 point there for the escape. It's 2-1 in favor of Alan Beanie of Ashland. Down to 4 seconds here in the first period. As the first period now will come to an end. We haven't had a chance, and you've mentioned Frank Volcano. We have not had the opportunity to be able to see him yet. We've covered this number 4, I believe his name is Ray Larson. Ray Larson has been really picking up the TV coverage here thus far. He has been lucking out.
And the referees picked for these matches, all great officials in the NCAA Division II category.
Beanie getting the top position, leading 2-1 over Lemberchet. Down to 1 minute and 39 now. We are tied at 2. Ken Hackman will be on a little bit later in the 190-pound category. Now Beanie has him up. And there's 2 points for the takedown. 4-2 in favor of Alan Beanie of Ashland University.
Beanie seems to have control.
Dawn, how chaotic is the sports information department at this point?
Well, I'll tell you what, there were a few adjustments, a few major adjustments brought in for something this big. When you have basketball games down here, you just use a little Xerox machine. It doesn't really take that much, but they brought in a real big job last night. A big Xerox machine that I think it must like throw off like, I don't know, 500 copies a minute or something, and that's what's needed too. There's so much that was put into it. Like I said, not only down here in the gym, but also up in the athletic offices. Everyone working. It's nice to see. I look around and I see football players for the university working the tournament. I see basketball players working the tournament. The baseball players outside did a great job with the parking, working the tournament. Even coaches coming down here. I saw a few coaches earlier this morning. Coach Colburn, Coach Haley down here, doing a great job.
Down to 44 seconds remaining in the second period. Beanie really in a compromising position.
This is what's so ironic about this sport. At 1 second you can have total control. The next second you look on your television screen, and that person's in a jam.
Beanie unable to get away, but both men now out of bounds. I'll bring it back to the center of the circle. 22 seconds remaining in the second period. Beanie leading Lemberchet 4-3. Big upset earlier on in the 134-pound category. The number 1 ranked and also defending national champion Pat Dorn of South Dakota State was upset by Larry Roby of Pitt Johnstown. Down to 5 seconds. It's 4-3 in favor of Beanie. And that is the end of the second period. 4-3, Alan Beanie leading Pat Lemberchet.
And Dave, one more comment about the tournament down here. That, you know, a lot of high schools around here do not have wrestling. Some colleges, some fans just don't take it too seriously. But if you look across the United States, you see how many people really do take wrestling serious.
Beanie picking up another point. It's now 5-3.
And I also had a chance to talk to most of the wrestling coaches and sports information directors throughout the nation, trying to arrange when they come and everything that we have for them. And in a lot of schools that I've talked to, wrestling is like the #1 sport too. And it's hard to believe sometimes, but it is. It's a very, very up-and-coming sport.
And as you see, it has also brought a pretty nice crowd to Hamer Hall. And this is only the quarterfinals. They were only able to open up about half, not even half of the bleachers here at Hamer. But tomorrow night they're expecting a sellout crowd for the championship round. Down to 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining. 5-3 in favor of Alan Beanie. Alan Beanie is from Ashland College.
Certainly a lot different from football, isn't it, Dave? Or any other sport for that matter. You know, I was outside too earlier today, and I saw the ambulance make a few runs. Like I said, it was such a physical sport, and I've seen numerous occasions the bout stopped here and delayed for the trainers to come out. And you could see why it's so physical right there. The moves being applied.
7-3 in favor of Alan Beanie. We're down to 37 seconds remaining in the match.
This is great for California University to have something like this. Last year hosted the PSAC championships down here, the tournament and the championship game, and not even a year later, you're hosting the NCAA Division II National Wrestling Tournament. Something to put California University on the map. And from what we've heard so far from the spectators, just talking to people, they're happy. They're content with the way the university has handled something like this. And you have to admit they handled it rather well. I mean, it was just about a month ago that you have to think from a sport aspect. Basketball season just ended, a week ago? And now you're getting ready for a national tournament, national championship. And it was so confusing, especially with the men's basketball team. What if they would have won the West? Would the playoffs been held down here? Would we have hosted it again? It's just so many questions going on. The women's team did very well this year. That's another thing. And of course, it would have been transferred to some other school in the conference. But those are things you have to take into consideration. You have to prepare yourself. And watching 20-some basketball games and then coming into a wrestling match, it's difficult for the athletic department, sports information department, to make a transition such as this one.
Down to 13 seconds in this match. It's a 7-3 lead for Alan Beanie. Down to 4 seconds, 3 seconds. 2 seconds remaining in 7-4 in favor of Alan Beanie. He also has the riding time. So if he comes up victorious, he will also get an extra point. And that is the end of the match. 8-4, Alan Beanie of Ashland College defeats Pat Lambertich. 8-4, so now Beanie will go into the semifinal round. As now we will move over to mat number 3. Mat 3, Paul Koppel of North Dakota State taking on Ben Dagley of Ashland.
There you get a nice wide view of Hamer Gymnasium and just what has been done to make this tournament a success down here at Hamer.
We're going to take a break right now. We'll be back. You're watching the National Wrestling Championships Division II on Channel 29. Welcome back to Hamer Hall, the site of this year's Division II National Championship Wrestling. Dawn Morton along with Dave Shinsky. We are set now for a 158-pound category. And the wrestlers we have are Johnell Gainey, 22-4 from Norfolk State. He will take on the #1 ranked wrestler in the nation, Kurt Johnson. Johnson, 29-7-1, the #1 seed in his category. He is out of Ferris State University. He placed 3rd last year in the Nationals. Kurt Johnson will be in the green. Check that. Johnell Gainey is in the green. Kurt Johnson is in the red. On this Ferris State team, they were the #1 ranked team in the nation coming in here for the start of this national championship.
Ferris State does have a very respectable wrestling program. I had a chance to talk to their coach, and like I said, their athletic department, and they were very excited about the tournament, the Division II national tournament. This is something they work up to. You know, this is speculation on my part, but it seems like wrestling is like any other sport as far as number one rankings. You hold one week, or you hold one, you know, the next week. It changes often, but Ferris State, like I said, has been doing a great job in wrestling. And another big school, too, is North Dakota State. In fact, I'm pretty sure North Dakota State hosted these tournaments last year.
Down to 2:03 here in the first period. Earlier in the first round matches, we did not cover John Holman of California University of Pennsylvania. Ended up losing his first round match.
Tough, too, for John Holman and the whole wrestling department here at California University. Had high expectations of John going far in these wrestling matches. But unfortunately for California, John was eliminated earlier on today. But Dave mentioned before, Kenny Hackman and Rick Travis doing very, very well in these tournaments.
Travis already in the semifinal round, while Kenny Hackman has yet to wrestle. He'll be wrestling later on in the 190-pound category. We'll be bringing you that match.
Hackman did wrestle earlier on today. And came up with a big win, which advances him. Hackman over Lou Prue from Mansfield. And then Hackman will wrestle later on against Walmsley from Virginia State for the semifinals.
2-point takedown as John L. Gainey leading 3-2 over Kurt Johnson. Down to 4 seconds in this first period. Gainey out of Norfolk State, down in Virginia. One second, and that is the end of the first period. So, John L. Gainey with the surprising 3-2 lead. And Dawn, it's a little bit too early to be speculating, but could we see another upset? We just saw an upset a couple minutes ago. The #1 seeded and defending champion got knocked off, and now this man, Kurt Johnson out of Ferris State University, finished 3rd overall in the Nationals last season. The #1 man this season to beat in the 158-pound category, and right now he's down by 1.
You know, Dave, like I said, I wasn't too affiliated with wrestling during my time here at California University, but from what I did cover and from what I did see, there have been a lot of upsets from the time I've been watching college wrestling. And you're going to certainly see them in these tournaments, too. A lot of people come in top-seeded, a lot of people with high expectations. And you just see, like I said, it's from all over the nation now. You're not wrestling inside of a conference. You're wrestling different people from over the nation. And when you get out of the state of Pennsylvania, or any state for that matter, you run into a lot of competition.
Down to 1 minute and 37 seconds in the second period. Gainey still up, 3-2.
Now, I've never seen that maneuver before. Ouch.
Down to 1 minute and 9 seconds. Kurt Johnson with his riding time all the way up to 1 minute and 31.
You know, Dave, talking about this sport of wrestling too, this isn't a sport where you could just, talking about like trying to get some physique and get in shape for this. This isn't a sport where you could just more or less lift weights or try to get in shape with one part of your body. You notice that all of your body has to be so flexible, as you see right here during this match. Your body has to be so flexible, your legs have to be so strong.
And your intensity level has to be
definitely
at its highest moment all of the time. Reversal, a 2-point reversal for John L. Gainey. He's leading 5-2 over Kurt Johnson. Johnson, the number 1 seeded wrestler here in this Division II National Championship, and Johnson also last year finished 3rd in the National Championships. He's the man to beat in this category.
Back it up again, ref. Call it, ref.
In favor of John L. Gainey. Johnson with the riding time in his favor, but it makes no difference. If he cannot win the match, he won't get the points. So we hit the third and final period in this 158-pound category. The official for this match, Ray Cerenzia of out of Westerly, Rhode Island. He's out of the Northeast Regional. Down to 1:30. Get a good shot right there. The intensity on these two men's faces.
You're right, Dave. We could be witnessing a major upset here at the NCAA Division II National Wrestling Tournaments. Gainey seeming to have control.
As Gainey will pick up the victory, Dawn. I believe Gainey is going to pick up the victory for either a disqualification or an injury to Kurt Johnson. Johnson down over in front of his bench, and he's not ready to go back in. It's all over there.
It certainly is.
As John L. Gainey will move to the semifinals in another big upset. Gainey upsetting Kurt Johnson, the number 1 seed in the tournament from Ferris State University. As John L. Gainey, who had a record of 22-4 coming into this, goes out victorious, and there you see a dejected Kurt Johnson sitting on the bench of Ferris State. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Division II National Championship Wrestling Tournament from Hamer Hall on Channel 29. Back to action on mat 1. Still in 158-pound category. Tim O'Connor of Ashland College taking on Jesse Smith. Jesse Smith from Nebraska, Omaha. Smith is number 2 seed in the tournament. O'Connor, the number 7 seed. Both of these men received byes in the first round, so this is the first action these two have seen in the NCAA Division II championships.
And let me correct myself before from when I said that the tournament was held at North Dakota State. It was held at Nebraska. Omaha hosted this National Wrestling Championship last year. Big upset if you just joined us. Last match, Gainey beating Johnson from Ferris State, Gainey being from Norfolk State. And as Dave mentioned, Johnson, one of the top seed wrestler, the top rank coming into this tournament.
Now Phil Hazel would join us back here at the booth. Phil, another big upset we were watching is Gainey upset Kurt Johnson of Ferris State.
Okay.
Gainey, the 8th seed in the 158-pound category, knocking off the number 1 seed, Kurt Johnson, just before this.
What was the score?
I believe there was either a disqualification or a fall on the match. We couldn't really tell what the call was.
Was either one of the guys injured?
I think Johnson was the man that was down.
Okay, then they called disqualification then, and it was an injury default. Okay. Well, we've had our first couple then, as far as upsets go, and like I said, any given day, these guys will turn the tables on one another.
The match we are witnessing right now is Tim O'Connor, the 7th seed from Ashland College, taking on Jesse Smith from the University of Nebraska, Omaha. He's the number 2 seed. And at this point right now, it's a 2-0 lead in favor of Jesse Smith with about 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining in the first period.
Right, you see these guys, the way Smith wrestles. Look at him, he's on his hip. He's in control. Both of his legs are laced in under, and he's breaking those points out. Then he pulls back. He keeps constant pressure. You let any daylight come between you and the man when you're riding like that, you're in trouble. The only way this guy can get out of here is to scoot away from him and try to get his legs out. Now we've switched to another match now. I don't know which mat they're on. We're on mat 1 right now at 158.
That is Jeff Howard from Buffalo University.
All right, Howard is leading 2-1.
Howard taking on Brett Kranig from California State Chico. Number 4 and 5 seeds in their respective divisions. Now
we're still on that match. Kranig and Howard, both of them tough kids.
Down to 1 minute and 6 in the final period. They're tied at 2.
I just talked with Pat Pecora from UPJ Johnstown, and he of course had to agree with me that Roby had wrestled a great match. He also knows that Roby's going to go against Adderley, and Adderley's a whirlwind, as you saw here a little while ago.
Very aggressive.
Yes, very. Buffalo has a boy here from we temporarily lost our place from the Cal State Chico in a lot of trouble here. Taking him down, he has a lead of 4-2.
And he only has 16 seconds left.
And he's putting pressure on to get the point count. Here's a Turk ride, and he's lifting that leg, trying to get him on his back. The official has already counted 3 points. 7-2 lead. Period. Match is over. 7-2.
So Jeff Howard will move on. Howard now will face in the semifinal round tomorrow night John L. Gainey, who defeated the number 1 seeded person from Ferris State, Kurt Johnson, earlier. You saw that on Channel 29.
Right, number 5 seed beating number 4 seed in this bout.
So now we're back over to Tim O'Connor from Ashland and Jesse Smith. We left this match a little bit earlier, and right at this point right now, Jesse Smith is leading O'Connor 4-0 with about 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining in the second period.
Well, Smith has a record of 26 wins and 5 losses, and O'Connor's 23-9. I mean, both these guys hanging in there. O'Connor's a 7th seed. That's a real tough weight class, is 158. I call this weight class a bruiser class. These guys hurt you. The heavyweights kill you.
You mentioned the heavyweights. Do you think there is a man out there that's going to be able to defeat Carlton Haselrig?
No. Unequivocally, no.
Down to 39 seconds in the second period. Smith leading O'Connor 4-2. Smith from Nebraska, Omaha, O'Connor from Ashland.
Nice shoulder roll. Nice shoulder roll up to neutral.
Smith picking up the point. It's now 5-2.
Smith looks like he's kind of picking the pace up a little bit here. He's forcing the issue. This may pay off a little later in this match, because at least 5-2 is nothing to get comfortable with.
Now down to 9 seconds in the second period.
Like Smith has over 2 minutes riding time, so
definitely has been in pretty much control of this match.
Yes, he has. We're back down on mat 1 now. Who do we have on mat 1?
We have Chris Puglisi and Ted Price. Ted Price out of the University of Wisconsin Parkside, while Chris Puglisi, University of Indianapolis. Ted Price is the #1 seed. Price is in the black, while Puglisi is in the red. Puglisi is the #8 seed.
Okay, this 167 pounders now. These most of these guys will walk around about 180 pounds, so you know they lose quite a bit of weight. You don't see a lot of body fat on these guys. Price is 41-4 this year. Awesome record.
Now, who determines how many matches these guys wrestle? Is it just a matter of how many tournaments that the particular school gets involved in, or their individual
Price
tournaments?
Price is in on a nice single, takes him down without any problem at all. Well, the way these matches are counted, every time you wrestle an opponent, that's a match. Now, you could go to a tournament like this and wrestle 4 or 5 matches. If you're in a consolation rounds, you lose 1, you win 4. You know, you've helped your record out. A lot of times they'll go to tri-meets and they'll wrestle 3 guys in 1 day. So that's the way they develop these records of 41 and 3 and that sort of thing. I think one year Joe Gonzalez was wrestling in Division II and he had a record of something like 56-1. So he'd been to a lot of tournaments.
Phil, looking back over on mat 1, O'Connor has tied Smith up, but now Smith picking up 2 more points, go up 7-5.
That's why I say you don't rest on your laurels out there, because these guys can come back on you real quick.
I was watching over there. O'Connor had him up in the fireman carry and then just brought him down for the big 3.
It's surprising how quickly the mood of the match can change. You know, your momentum is, you see it in basketball and football, but in wrestling it changes so quickly because of the short period of time these 2 guys are involved in combat. It can go second here, second there.
If there's one thing about wrestling, you can never lose your intensity. You lose your intensity, you might have just lost the match.
It looks to me like we have a winner down there on mat 1.
It was Jesse Smith, I believe. Smith
8-6.
8-6.
Get a nice close-up shot of this young fellow there from Jesse Smith relaxing down there. He did a good job.
Match we're watching right now, Ted Price, the #1 seed from the University of Wisconsin Parkside, taking on Chris Puglisi of the University of Indianapolis. And at this point right now, it's a 7-2 lead in favor of the #1 seed, Ted Price. Price in the black, Puglisi is in the red.
Oh, nice move. Puglisi needs cross face. He's out for 2. That was a great move. 9-2 the scores. 15 seconds left in the first period. Price is gained a minute riding time now. Trying to bar that arm up, work across the top, work across the neck. First period's over.
First period comes to an end. Now back over on mat 1. We have Brad Morris of Ferris State University. Morris, the #2 seed in this 167-pound category. Last year, Morris finished 4th overall in the NCAA Division II tournament. He's taking on Tom Kirpatch from North Dakota State. That should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, these guys from Ferris and North Dakota, I don't know whether they go at each other in the regular season or not, but they've seen one another before. You can bet on it in a tournament somewhere. I watched this young fellow from North Dakota State wrestle earlier. He's a tall, rangy kid. He's 167 pounds. He looks like he's about 6'1 and a half, 6'2. Those guys have a lot of leverage. And you watch him, he'll use it to his advantage.
In your opinion, what would you rather have as a wrestler? A short, stocky guy who's quick, or the taller, lanky guy?
Well, I never liked to wrestle a tall, lanky fellow because he's hard to get to. But it depends. It just depends on the skills of the individual involved. I've seen an awful lot of good short wrestlers. Bill DePauli, our reigning perennial national champion here at California University, probably one of the best wrestlers we ever had come out of here. Is a pretty short little guy and big in spirit.
The man you see on your screen right now, that is Tom Kirpatch. Kirpatch from North Dakota State as he prepares to take on Brad Morris. You saw Morris earlier. Morris will be wearing the red. Kirpatch will be wearing the green.
Now we have a 9-3 bout down here against a young man from
that is in favor of Ted Price.
U of Indianapolis, and his coach was coming out there giving him a few words of encouragement. He just kind of shakes his head as Price gets that 2 points in there. I don't know. He looks like maybe he might be injured a little bit. Either that or he slipped on a takedown. All right, Price is working into hammerlock on the. And the official stops as a potentially dangerous move. Apparently the young man did hurt his shoulder.
John Walker once again, the official in this bout. Down to 22 seconds into the second period. It's 11-3 in favor of Ted Price.
In mat 4 you have a father and son team. You can see how they look alike. This is one sport where you see an awful lot of father-son combinations. Fathers being good wrestlers.
As now I believe we have a winner due to an injury, as Ted Price will take up the victory. That's Chris Puglisi.
Yeah, that'll be a default.
So
now that's too bad to come this far and then have an injury take you out of it like that. But he's in pain. You can see the shoulder all the way down the arm.
You mentioned mat 4. What was the guy's name out there that was wrestling on mat 4? We're going to be watching him right now.
He's from Augustana. Kendall from Augustana, and University of North Dakota Richter.
The winner of this match will take on the winner of the Kirkpatch-Morris matchup.
Right.
Both of those are in progress at this point. This match here.
You can bet Augustana and U of North Dakota have faced one another during the season. I don't know what the outcome was. I don't have any dual meet record here. But both these young men have good records.
Kendall's the man in the green, I believe, and it's Richard in the blue.
All right. Points awarded to the green is University of North Dakota. Augustana is in the blue. So Kendall is Augustana, Richter is University of North Dakota. Kendall's down 2-0. And wait a minute.
Now we have the camera back over on mat 1. 4-2 is the score in favor of the young man from Ferris State at the 167-pound category. That is Brad Morris. Morris now up 5-2.
Just got an escape. Kendall from Augustana is leading the match that we were just watching a little bit ago, 4-3.
Brad Morris, 37-8-1 on the season. The second seed here in the 167-pound category. Tom Kirkpatch, 13-11-1. Morris is the man in the red, Kirkpatch the man in the green. Down to 57 seconds remaining in the first period. It's 5-2 in favor of Morris.
You have the classic confrontation here, the tall, rangy guy and the, well, not real short, but a short, stocky individual, and we'll see who comes out on top here. So far, the smaller looking fellow is the one that's winning 5-2. Kirkpatch takes a shot and he's going to lose it. He went in too far extended. Morse was able to cross face and get around and gain the 2 points. So we have a 7-2 lead here.
Now down to 15 seconds in the first period.
Another 1 point escape for North Dakota State. 7-3. Period winding down.
That is the end of the first period. 7-3 as Brad Morris of Ferris State University leading Tom Kirkpatch.
See Bucky Moms coming off his chair there to yell some words of encouragement to Kirkpatch. Now, Moms was a Division I national champion back when he was in college for Moorhead State. He's a resident, he was born in Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania, which is quite a wrestling town, as everybody knows.
Kirkpatch, now apparently there's been an injury. They were talking to one of the trainers.
I think what we have over there is a bloody nose. And that doesn't mean that any injury time is taken. If there's blood, why they permit time out to get the blood out. And that happens all the time in wrestling. Minute 45 left in the second period of this 167-pound bout between Kirkpatch of North Dakota State and Morris of Ferris State, with Morris in the lead 7-3.
Phil, it has to be awfully tough for the coaches of these teams. Ferris State, two two wrestlers wrestling at the identical time right now. If you're a coach, what do you do?
Well, you send your assistant with one and you go with the other. Or if you have no assistant, you send one of your other teammates along with them. These tournaments like this really put the pressure on. You can see the cotton in Kirkpatrick's nose. They've put some cotton in there to try to keep the nose from bleeding. Morris seems to be pretty much in control of things now. All he has to do is maintain that lead and try to hold him there, but he's going to have a tough time with this kid. Now he's away for one. Kirkpatch is away for one. Bring him back to the center.
7-4 in favor of Morris.
I'm sorry.
They did put this. They did put the point on the board.
You watch, the point will go to the other side now. You saw the referee make the motion that Kirkpatch grabbed the finger. You cannot. You have to grab those fingers in a bunch. You can't grab them one at a time and twist on them. That was a penalty point. That's a tough way to lose a point. Most of the times it's inadvertent, but you know there are rules.
Down now to 1:07 remaining in the second period. It's 8-3 in favor of Brad Morris from Ferris State University. Morris, the number 2 seed in the 167-pound classification.
Matchup here on match 4 between Kendall and Richter is pretty close. 6-5 in favor of Kendall from Augustana. We're into the last period. Kendall's on the bottom.
8-4 the score of the match you are watching in favor of Brad Morris. Down to 31 seconds as you see on the clock. Now, Phil, who was the people that were kind enough to be able to donate the scoreboards for this tournament?
Well, I can't name the individual who was responsible for loaning these to us. I believe that we got them from the PIAA headquarters in Carlisle. And I'll tell you, we wouldn't have been able to handle this tournament if those folks hadn't loaned these. We call them Christmas trees to us. These things are quite expensive. They're inside each one of them, there's total electronic boards in them. They run on little microchips and stuff. They make these, by the way, in Brookings, South Dakota, where the University of South Dakota is located. Daytrich Corporation, I believe. I give them a little commercial, but I don't think that'll matter.
8-4 in favor of Morris with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining here in the third period. 167-pound classification match.
Morris, Kirkpatch is really taking his shots too far out. Morris got that leg. He's round on behind him for 2 again. Oh, he's really turning him now. Scores 10-4. We have 1 minute and 10 seconds left in this last period. And Morris just picked up 3 more back points.
Down to 48 seconds. 13-5 now in favor of Morris. Morris has been pretty much in control of this match all the way. He has 2 minutes and 19 seconds of riding time. .34 seconds left in about 13-5 is the score. Morris
Ferris State's leading and has been in control most of the match.
Looking over the match we were watching just before this, Richard is leading Kendall 8-5. Richard from Augustana.
I believe it's the other way around.
Down to 17 seconds now in this one. Morris up.
Kirkpatch tried a headlock, which is desperation. Try to get your opponent on his back, and he missed it. And Morris picks up another 2 points.
2-1, and that will do it.
Over.
So Brad Morris will move into the semifinal round. He will face the winner of the Kendall-Richard match, which is going on right now. Might want to go right over there right now. Only 20 seconds remaining in that match on number 4. 8-5, down to 19 seconds. Take a break right after this one is completed. Only 19 seconds remaining on mat 4. Richard is leading Kendall 8-5. Down to 3, 2, 1, and that is it. So tomorrow night, John Richard will take on Morris in the semifinal round. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be back. You're watching the Division II National Wrestling Championships on Channel 29. Welcome back to Hamer Hall. Dave Shinsky with you as we are get an overview of everything there. And you see Kenny Hackman waiting for his chance. Hackman will be coming up here in a matter of moments. Kenny Hackman will be wrestling at the 190-pound category. Hackman, the #1 ranked wrestler in Division II and his classification. He is also the #1 seed in this tournament. And Kenny Hackman will be facing a guy by the name of Bill Walmsley from Virginia State. Walmsley 22-3 overall. He is the 8th seed in the tournament. The only problem there is, though, that Hackman had to wrestle this morning. Hackman had to wrestle in the first round, while on the other hand, Bill Walmsley received a bye in the first round. Unusual, but it happened. match you're watching right now, 177-pound category, it is Wayne Engerbersten of the University of North Dakota. He is facing Don Zeman. Zeman and Kyle Davis. North Dakota is in the green, while on the other hand, it is Kyle Davis in the red. Getting a shot there of Kenny Hackman, getting his pep talk. That is Engelbertson. Engelbertson on top of Don Zeman. Engelbertson at this point leading 2-0 with 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining in the final period. Ken Hackman will be the next contestant in this mat, on this mat 2. Down to 1 minute and 27 seconds. 2-1 in favor of Engelbertson. Minute and 9 seconds remaining. As Wayne Engelbertson has a 1-point lead.
There you see a shot of Ken Hackman with Johnny Holman over there. Kenny's trying to get himself relaxed, psyched up a little bit, but still relaxed.
Phil, did not hear anything, but did Johnny Holman get to wrestle his consolation match as of yet?
No, not yet. I feel like Frank Gifford in one of these.
Now, if you're getting Frank Gifford's salary.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. There's Robin Urson and his father, and Mark Marshall, our coaching staff. His father drove all the way here from northern Michigan to come to these tournaments, and I'll tell you, this guy, he's been to the last 10 or 12 national tournaments. He's a real wrestling fan.
Also saw Eddie Alford in that shot. Eddie, a standout wide receiver at the university for 4 seasons. Now Ken Hackman, we're going to switch over to mat number 1 where Kenny Hackman will be wrestling his quarterfinal round. As Hackman is ready to go, he's facing Bill Walmsley. This is the 190-pound category. Walmsley 22-3. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, all these guys are impressive. You don't pick any weak ones out of the 140 they brought here. every guy that wins in these quarterfinals, you know, is guaranteed an All-American. So they're giving it their all.
Bill Walmsley is from Virginia State University. The winner of this match will face the winner of the Rayborn Johnson and Dale Herbst matchup. Johnson from Cal State Chico and Herbst from University of North Dakota. And Hackman is ready to go.
Pay close attention to Kenny's shots now. If he gets both sides moving, he'll dominate this man. Trying to set him up to get that inside pick for that single. Kenny's stalking him, but as yet he hasn't fired a shot. Underhook, trying to get out of there.
How would you classify Kenny Hackman? What kind of style does he like?
Kenny's a technician, although he does have an awful lot of power. He's deceiving when you look at him. Kenny is very strong, and he's quick for a 90-pounder. He's not nearly as tall as these guys, and they sometimes underestimate his speed and strength. And Kenny's in terrific condition. He's had a problem with his knee a little bit this season, but he's a superb athlete.
Once again, Kenny Hackman is the defending national champion at this weight class.
There he's got that single, and he put him right down on his rear end.
And he picks up 2 points for it.
And he let him go. Coming out again, it scores 2-1.
Down to 1 minute and 30 remaining in the first period.
You see how quick Kenny strikes when he hits that single. He has a very, 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 very quick technique in there. There he is, on the double. He lost it. He's dropped down to the single, and they're out of bounds. Kenny's on there again for 2, lets him up for 1. Kenny needs some impressive points here. He's in again. He's down. Boom.
2-point takedown for Hackman.
2-point takedown for Hackman. He's cross-facing, coming around barring, going after him. Oh, he's really going after him. Way to go.
6-2 in favor of Kenny Hackman with 52 seconds remaining in the first period.
I have a young lady here, I think, who's wanting to talk to the TV. She probably knows more wrestling than I do. I should give her the headphones and let her take over. Kenny let him up. He has 1 point. What Kenny's really trying to do is get 15 more points than his opponent, and he'll have a technical fall. He's trying to get the arm out. He has 2 points. No, the referee hasn't given it 2 points yet. He's got it now. Scores 8-3. 25 seconds left in the first period.
Haven't had the opportunity to witness a technical fall thus far.
We almost had one that Adderley bout. We had one earlier. Travis had one in the afternoon round. Kenny's trying to tilt him over and get some back points, but he isn't able to get it. You can see him reaching through and grabbing the leg, stopping the turn.
Technical fall, that'd be your equivalent in baseball, in your little leagues as a 10-run rule.
Yeah, right. Right. See, they didn't used to have that, and got to the point where guys were, the good wrestlers were just really hammering the guys that weren't so good, and that's not the object of the sport. The object of the sport is to beat the other guy, but not to humiliate him. Kenny's taking the top position now to start the second period. Kenny can control a guy from top if he has to. In this situation, I'm not sure what the coach's strategy is going to be for Hackman. Probably going to see if he can't turn him over and get a few back points. Kenny's cross face, far arm, and he's trying to get him over. He's got too much body on top of him to do it right now. He's powering. He's arm locked the other arm. Now he's trying to turn him. There he goes. All right, he's got him over. He has no point count. No point count. Official has to reach a 3 count there for him to get 2 points, and if he reaches a 5 count, he gets 3. Now see, his back is perpendicular. It has to be beyond perpendicular for him to get any point count. Kenny's already accumulated a minute 52 seconds riding time. We had 45 seconds left in the second period. Hackman is in absolute control here, it looks like. Okay, there's an escape.
8-4 now the score. Hackman up by 4. Hackman in the black, Walmsley in the blue.
Both out of bounds.
Now Walmsley.
He's just getting a little breather there. The referee will allow you a little bit of time to get back to the center, so when you need a breath of air, why, take your time. Hackman's going to come out of this with 2, I think. There he's in his 2. There's the tilt. There's the count. There's the points. 2 points. 3 points. He has 3 points for a near fall. And Walmsley appears to be, now that's the end of the period.
13-4.
No, we started the injury clock. Walmsley appears to have been injured on that last flurry.
Now how long are they permitted on the injury clock?
They have 2 minutes. They have 2 minutes total throughout the whole match. To go beyond that is disqualification.
13-4 Kenny Hackman leading it at this point. You see Coach Ursland giving Kenny Hackman some instructions on the sidelines.
For those of you that don't know, Coach Ursland coached 4 years for Dan Gable at the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, and I'll tell you, this man knows his wrestling. He's in his first year here, I think he's done a magnificent job. University is behind him 100%. We like what we see. I think he's going to bring us to the front in Division II. I hope so anyway.
Now California University, they compete Division II, but most of the teams that they wrestle during the regular season are Division I schools.
Yeah, that makes your head hurt sometimes because we only have 3 schools in Pennsylvania that are in the Pennsylvania Conference that are Division II, and the rest of them are all Division I schools. And boy, that makes it tough when you have to compete against them.
Coming into this tournament as a team, California ranked 10th in the nation overall.
Right. Kenny just missed a takedown there. They sure went for that out of bounds mark, but there were 3 points of contact that were out of bounds as ruled by the official. Kenny's in on him again. There he goes, another takedown. Kenny's trying to pin. He's got the leg up. He's got at least 3 points there. Looks like he needs to get that near arm. He needs to get that near arm to get that shoulder down. Might as well forget he's gotten the 3 points. Now if he can get out of there and lock a half in, Kenny may pin him. It's all over. The party's over. I can't sing that song.
Down to 1 minute and 11 seconds.
All he has to do is relax. Relax, he's got him on his back. No. 3 more back points.
18-4, he needs 1 more for a technical fall.
1 more, you're right. Well, he has that 1 more for a technical fall when time runs out, but
the minute this match ends, we want to go straight over to mat number 3 where Carlton Haselrig is wrestling for the number 1 ranked wrestler in the nation, Division I and Division II.
You're right. Kenny's trying to work that shoulder pass perpendicular. There he goes. He's called a potentially dangerous. Stop the match with 21 seconds to go.
Match number 4, heavyweight, Brian Shaw from Southern Illinois, Clark Schneppel, Nebraska, Omaha. Match number 4, heavyweight, Shaw and Schneppel.
Quarterfinal round starting to wind down here.
Heavyweight.
After this 190 match, straight to the heavyweights.
All right, Hackman's on top. We'll see what he's going to do if he wants to get that other point for the technical fall. He's driving with the half. He's really working.
Down to 12 seconds, 11 seconds.
It's a wonder to me the official didn't call stalling on the bottom man. He really hasn't been able to move.
And it's all over.
That's
Kenny Hackman will advance to the semifinal round with a
19-4
victory. As now we want to go straight over to mat number 3. Carlton Haselrig wrestling against Jim Benson. Benson from Ferris State, Haselrig from UPJ. Haselrig is in the blue trunks. Well, Beeson is in the red. And at this point right now, Haselrig is leading by 3, 4-1. And a reminder that Haselrig is the defending national champion in Division II, but not only is he the defending national champion in Division II, he is the defending national champion in Division I also. He's a step above everyone.
Yes, he is. Sometimes 3 steps. But these guys, they have a weight limit on the heavyweights now. They can weigh 275. And I suppose that probably both these guys weigh, I think Carlton weighs about 260, 265.
Phil, do you know if Carlton has any aspirations for the future with the Olympics?
I'm not real sure. It all depends. There's been talk around that he may turn to professional football. He's very quick. His coach is telling me that I believe they've clocked him in the 40 at about 4.7. You know, and that for a man that size, that's tremendous speed. So pro football, you know, that's a logical choice for him.
And obviously Haselrig's record this season, 28, and you guessed it, 0. While on the other hand, Beeson comes in here a record of 14-7 with 1 draw.
Okay, Haselrig picks that 275 up so easy. A little injury time there. Carlton put him down a little hard that time.
Haselrig leading 6-1. Now for the semifinals tomorrow night, they will get rid of a lot of these mats. Correct me if I'm wrong, and we'll go with a 2-mat setting or a 3-mat setting.
All right, for the semifinals and the consolation rounds, we're going to go down. We'll go down to 5 mats. We'll move mat 6 out, move those bleachers out. We'll have about 320 more seats. I don't think that's going to help us a lot with the seating because, you know, the high school sectionals are tonight, and everybody will want to get in here tomorrow to see it, but we're going to go to 1 mat tomorrow night for the finals. And University just bought us a new 46 by 46 mat, and we're anxious to get it out here and show it off. It's a pretty nice piece of equipment.
So, but for the championship round, you'll probably be able to get about 4,000. That'd be really near capacity, maybe a little bit over capacity at 4,000.
Well, I think the place will hold about 3,500. If Dr. Bird were around, he'd say it'd hold about 6,000. You know, he kind of likes to exaggerate things, but I think about 3,500's max in here. It'd be real nice to see that many people here.
6-1 now in favor of Carlton Haselrig. Ferris State tonight had a pretty rough time. They've had a lot of kids get into the quarterfinal round and be eliminated thus far this evening.
Ferris State guy just got an escape there. Haselrig's back in on a single, takes him down. Laces the leg. He's going to pull that up and he's going to go across the body. Young man better get moving. He's going to try and turn him over on his back.
The official you see in charge of this bout is Charlie Douglas out of Foster City, California. He is representing the West Regional.
As you can see, there's a lot of pressure being put on that leg. Haselrig is holding on to the toe on the other side, if you can believe that. Now he's getting his point count. He got him down for 3. There's a lot of power there.
Now down to 55 seconds remaining in the second period. 8-2 in favor of Carlton Haselrig.
Carlton will just hold him there till he wears out and he'll put him on his back. No, he's going to come out. The young lad from Ferris State's had a little more sass left. Looks like, what, about 11-2? Yes, 11-2. 30 seconds left, second period.
Running time is incredible at this point. 2:54 in favor of Carlton Haselrig. With about 20 seconds remaining in the second
he lets
period.
him go now for 1. I think Carlton pretty much convinced that anytime he wants to take him down, he can do it. See how quickly he got out of the way.
You'd almost wonder how it would feel to have to wrestle Carlton Haselrig in practice every day.
I don't know where they have anybody up there that can work out with him or not.
You would have to hope that the guy who works out with him does not have a very big ego.
Well, this is, Dean Hall from Edinburgh, their heavyweight last year. His sparring partner was always Bruce Bumgarner, an Olympic gold medal winning world champion. You can imagine how Dean Hall felt.
On match number 2, consolation match, heavyweights, Mike Gomes, Paul Haley from Lowell. Consolation match, match number 2, Mike Gomes, Paul Haley.
Down to 1 minute and 46 seconds in this match. Haselrig leading 11-3.
Haselrig's looking around. He's trying to make up his mind what he wants to do. You ever seen anybody so composed? He never gets hurried. Never gets in a hurry. Look at that. He just sets things up so nicely. And he's a complete wrestler. He's already beaten this second-ranked heavyweight in the country this year in Division I. I think he met him in the Midlands and pinned him in about 1 minute and 30 seconds.
These heavyweights, now, what is the maximum weight you can have to be a heavyweight?
275. Used to be there was no limit. Like you'd have guys out there, well, Chris Taylor comes to mind. I think Chris would go over 400 pounds when he wrestled. He was from Iowa, University of Iowa. Wrestled for Dan Gable.
13-3 in favor of Carlton Haselrig. Down to about 52 seconds remaining here in the match. Riding time at 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Well, the boy from Ferris State ought to sleep well tonight anyway. He'll be tired when this is over.
You wrestle a guy like Carlton Haselrig, at times it seems like it might be a situation where you're just trying to survive.
I think that's the point with most of the guys that wrestle him. They go in there. Now this young man's done a credible job. I'm not taking anything away from him. Most guys that wrestle him try to stall out on him. You know, they don't let him get into his moves and everything. Of course, that's wise, I guess.
Down to 13 seconds now. 15-4 in favor of Haselrig. About an 11-point lead, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and that will do it. Haselrig will win 16-4. as he will advance to the semifinal round. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. You're watching the Division II National Championships on Channel 29. Welcome back to Hamer Hall, where tonight the Division II National Championship is taking place. Quarterfinal round starting to come to a conclusion here. Dave Shinsky along with my guest analyst, Phil Hayes. And Phil, out of what you saw tonight, what do you think the two biggest surprises were?
Well, Roby has to be a big surprise, upsetting the defending national champion. The other surprising match, I believe, was Adderley's match. I mean, he's a tough cookie. That 34-pound match tomorrow is going to be a good one.
Now, looking at tomorrow night, Kenny Hackman won, and so did Rick Travis. Do you think those guys are going to be able to advance on to the finals?
Yeah, I think they will. I have a lot of confidence in Hackman and a lot of confidence in Travis. Travis this year has completed his first full season for us, and he's down a weight. He's in good shape. His weight's under control, and he knows where he's going. This is it for him. He either wins one here or he doesn't ever have another chance.
Phil, the first day of the tournament is over. Has it been a success?
I would think it has been an unqualified success. I have everything leading up to it went rather smoothly. I'd like to say that Robin Urson did a magnificent job of organizing it. Jan McConnelly, athletic director, helped with all sorts of minutia. It's just unbelievable the job that we've had done by our sport personnel. It couldn't have been done without those people.
Phil, I'd like to thank you for joining me tonight, and we'll have a good one tomorrow night.
Thank you very much.
Reminders to stay tuned for tomorrow night's action, as we will have the finals here from California University, the finals of the Division II National Championship Wrestling. That is it from Hamer Hall. For my partner, Phil Hayes, I'm Dave Shinsky. You have been watching the Division II National Championship quarterfinal round on Channel 29.